Salvete omnes, this is Amelia, also known as TheMartianGeek, and welcome back to another episode of Super Luigi Land. In the last episode, we started on the obligatory ice world of the game. Man, I don't need more ice. It was 2 degrees the morning I recorded this. And yes, that's Fahrenheit. Anyway, we're going into Sugar Fortress. Starting things off with a bang, I suppose. Actually, what it seems like we're starting things off with is a slide. Well, it's a good thing I got the blue switch palace, because that would be nearly impossible without it. Doable, but really not worth it. Also, spikes. Also from Super Mario Bros. 3. And we have backward falling thwomps. I want to call them rising thwomps, but I feel like that implies, well, like they have kind of a reverse gravity type of effect going on there. So they really kind of do fall up and don't just rise. I don't know. Terminology. Also, I don't think any of the spikes yet have gotten to actually shoot or throw their projectiles. So now we have, whatever you call this kind of thwomp. It goes in a square pattern, I guess. Again, as far as I know, that's never been in an official Mario game. It's just a custom enemy. Now that I think about it, there have been a lot of thwomps lately, even in non-castle levels. Okay, let's just let that spike attack. Is the only difference between the red ones and the green ones that the red ones stay on ledges? Oh, we're already at the boss. I expected that fortress to be a lot trickier than it was, to be honest. Given my past experiences with ice-themed fortresses and castles, which admittedly aren't terribly numerous, but I mean, ow. Seems like the last ice fortress or castle I remember doing in a Gamma V hack was fairly challenging, and the second Fortress of World 6 in Super Mario Bros. 3 was nothing to sneeze at either. But yeah, that actually went very smoothly. Obviously standard boom boom battle, nothing noteworthy to mention aside from ice physics. And I guess you have less of a space to fight him in, but considering you can stand on the sides of the arena, that might actually be a benefit. So let's see. Yeah, let's do Sugar Snowfield 5, and then we'll try the secret level. We have Bumpties! Obviously from Yoshi's Island. And the pitching chucks are now throwing snowballs at you. Well, those aren't any better for your health than the baseballs were. What kind of a bat would you even need for that sport? Mushroom. I was gonna say something and I forgot what it was. Oop. Ow. It's fortunately for that charging chuck that enemies are immune to spikes. Ow. That was not good. Okay, nothing in there. If I could quit losing all of my health and power-ups, that would be good. Oh yeah, I was going to comment on the snowstorm effect. Yeah. That's something you really didn't see as much, I feel like, in older hacks, and now I feel like it's a lot more common, because I guess it's easier to access. There are codes and sprites and things you can download to get that effect. I still feel like I was probably one of the first ones, well, maybe not snowstorm effects in general, but I did do a 1-to-1 port of the Layer 3 increasing in intensity blizzard from Yoshi's Island back in 2013. But anyway, I suppose that's neither here nor there, because we're done with the level. I guess in a way, Gamma V does make it easier to get bonus stars, because a lot of the time, you have something high that you can climb up on right before the goal, which Vanilla Super Mario World mostly didn't have. So yeah, let's go see what's up with that no doubt very cold water level here. Sugar Secret. Oh yeah, it's that music again. And upon further thought, I don't think this actually is Shala's theme. I think that's a different one. I'm not sure though. I forget. So now I actually know what these lotuses do, and now we do have blue ones. But those don't care about shells, so whatever. Yeah, we have some translucent water. They also don't care about blocks being hit under them. They're like the lotus equivalent of the honey badger. I guess. I don't know. Now remember, at least in the past, wow, lag. There was a version of that lotus where if you had a fire flower and you got hit by one of the spores, it would take away your fire flower. Which kind of makes sense from like a real-life physics perspective, but not so much from a Mario perspective, maybe? Probably should have dropped the shell before going down there. Okay, so do these hurt you? No, they do not. They just freeze you. Good to know, and I figured I might as well test while there's no... Urchin? You might want to stay in that water there. I don't think that's what you're supposed to... Yeah. Yeah, a fun fact about urchins is they don't actually care about whether or not they're in water. They'll happily go back and forth or around things in air. And now the water's moving. And taking the lotuses with it, which... Yeah, this is not ordinary water, clearly. It's probably just set to act like water for the player and some enemies. Okay, good, it doesn't take your fire flower away. Well, that's another mystery solved, I suppose. In fact, it's possible that it only acts solid to the lotuses. That was dumb. Why did I do that? I mean, it doesn't look like we'll need our fire flower for any secret items or anything, but... I will say this level is pretty slow-paced. Not necessarily a good or bad thing. But in my experience, it's quite difficult to actually get proper pacing for levels with a moving foreground layer like this anyway. As well as for underwater levels, so underwater levels with the moving foreground layer? Oh my. Can't believe I didn't hit the spikes there, but I will take it. I also have a feeling I'm about to get hit. Okay, good. I actually turned out not to be right that time. Took a few ice spores to the face, but... Okay, we're running out of time, but it doesn't matter because we're at the end. Sped up ice cap zone. See, that's why Sonic isn't in Mario games. He'd go so fast that all of the music would be sped up. Or something, I don't know. Or else they have to design the engine so that all the music would be extra fast. Let's go for the middle one. Okay, so that's 10 coins, not just one. Still kind of a booby prize, but not as much as it could have been. Okay, so we did the fortress. I think we have time for one more. Ice Cave chant from the first Donkey Kong country. And falling icicles. Falling icicles hit the floor as you beg and scream no more. We also have Christmas lights. And yeah, Buster Beetles are back. Well, that could have been bad. I always thought Ice Cave Chant was one of the more underrated songs in Donkey Kong Country. Granted, I guess probably quite a few of them that weren't by Dave Wise were underrated. Not quite how I meant that to work out, but I'm okay with it. Well, I guess I haven't seen the enemies dangerous enough that I'd need to worry too much about carrying an object with me. I think that background is from Super Mario Bros. 3, I want to say? Fire-spitting nipper plants that... Okay, don't tell me you're immune to these too. Yeah, I thought not. The game also sometimes treats items thrown upward and thrown horizontally differently, and sometimes doesn't. So that can also make things weird if you're trying to go for consistency. Or rather, that can also make things seem inconsistent if you're trying to make things interact with thrown objects. Whoa! Well, that was the window or the stairs there. Or, that's not the right phrase for that. It was... I don't know, it was something. It was dying or merely taking a hit. Much more literal, much less interesting, but a lot more accurate. Okay. Another beetle. Oh, I thought I could get that one and have an object to take to the goal with me. Oh well. I guess that is one thing that I probably don't think, or hadn't thought about until more recently, is ice worlds are kind of one of those where you don't have to have just an ice level. It can be an ice level that's also something else, like a cave, underwater, athletic, whatever. And you just can't do that with every theme. Like, you can't really do that with grassland or forest levels. But anyway, that's 8 levels, and we just have 4 more in World 7 to go, which we will do next time. See you then.